Greetings. We are here with a great Tibetan monk about compassion, and that is his job, and that's what he lives for. Geshe Thupten. How you doing, Geshe?
You're doing good, thank you.
Why is compassion so important? You know, that's what we're trying to introduce a charter of compassion to the city because we have a lot of unrest that's going on in our city government right now. Why is compassion important?
Because compassion is what is lacking right now in the whole world. Everywhere you have so much of everything: materialism, power struggle, politics, this and that. And what is missing is compassion. That's what everybody needs. That's what everywhere is actually missing. So it is just number one important to promote and prevail that everyone learn about compassion, live with compassion, and be peace and happiness from around all.
Is forgiveness really important in this part of compassion? You know, say someone really wronged you, and hurt you, and a lot of people carry grudges. How would you get rid of if you've been wronged by another person?
Well, there is a lot of different techniques how you mm, go into the practice of or be able to practice forgiveness. A lot of people in the West, what I hear from, is that even to uh, on the name of forgiveness, you still have kind of expectation, you know. So forgiveness meaning sacrifice. You sacrifice, you forgive. You do this in a sense of doing a big favor for the opponent, but in reality, you ease yourself, you heal yourself by forgiving others. You get the first benefit out of your practice. So this is so profound practice, forgiveness. If you learn how to forgive, how to be able to forgive, you will enjoy the first benefit out of your practice, the peace and ease.
That's profound. And the Tibetans, you guys, just like African Americans, you've been through so much trauma
Absolutely.
and you were able to forgive. I mean, they say you have less stress and trauma than any other group in exile.
Absolutely, I would say that. I do believe that. From my own experience, at the age of 2, I still remember very fresh the day Chinese troop came into my village. It was about this time. About this time, it was about this time when the Chinese troop poured into my little village. How terrifying moment that was. Everyone was screaming, yelling around, running around, and Chinese troops were just poured down from the hill. And my mother grabbed me and hid into a cow shade, and animal shade in a way. So, all those memories still have very fresh. And then throughout my life, like until we came into exile to India in 1961, we left right after His Holiness fled to India in 1959, March 1959. As soon as we hear that His Holiness left, my family decided to leave because my parents didn't want their children to be taken by Chinese. So to protect their children, they sacrificed everything, all about their family, and left behind and just started to walk, trying to get out of the country. But we got caught by Chinese military, and we were put into the concentration camps a couple of times. So finally, in 1961, we managed to get out from there, and we reached India. And with entire experience throughout these many years. We grew up with so much anger. And when I was 13, back in India, we were put into schools, but in our hearts, so much anger burning on and on and on. And when I was 13, I decided to go to military. I thought I'm strong enough to pick up a gun now. The only mission for the life those days was pick up a gun, fight, and die on the border. That was the only mission for the life those days. We ran out of our homes. We went to the military, but military did not accept. We were only 13. I was 13. We were 7 boys actually. We ran out of our homes, our family, and tried to go to military. We were turned back, cried, upset. They put us back to the to the school in 1972. His Holiness the Dalai Lama gave a visit to our school, and he talked about compassion, forgiveness, and that's where I turned around from my way to military, and I decided to go to the monastery in 1973. Then I was 17. I joined the monastery, so I took this path. It took time. It took time to get my anger out. It took time, many years, but finally, after many years, even within the monastery, learning, practicing, trying to live the teachings, it took time. But after sometimes, I realized that I have no pain, no grief against China, or Chinese, or any of them. So this is power of compassion. That is the power of forgiveness. I don't know how much did that help that out there in Chinese, with the Chinese, but with my forgiveness, that is me. I'm out of my pain. I'm out of my anger. I get the first benefit out of my practice, although I do this for Chinese. So that is what we call karma. You do good, you without expectation, you get the best, so that you can do more.
Without expectation.
Yes.
That's very
Yes,
good.
yes,
You know,
yes,
and just being right there because you suffered,
yes.
and there's something very special out of suffering. I mean, I've suffered a lot. Being an African American, but then I want to work for the good of other people because I know how suffering feels.
Exactly. I was listening before while you were talking here. You said, I go where there's suffering. This is what I do. That touched my heart. That is what we're taught. And that is what I pray. That is why I think I live for that. Yeah.
Is there anything would you like to tell the city of San Diego and the people that are in conflict right now, and why it's really important to have that charter of compassion for cities, and for all the city council to sign that charter?
I do hope the city council member are and knowledgeable, and decent people. They understand how important this is. They really get to your resolution and sign whatever it is. I do believe, and I do hope that happens, because This is something what we're missing, particularly in the material world. People run so much for material. They believe material is the source of happiness, which is not. The want, the greed never ends, and you never reach an absolute happiness at all. There's no way. The more you make, you are more unhappy. You're more stressful, more fear. The power, the money, the wealth, whatever those that we run for, the more you make, more you are unhappy, more fear, more suspicion, more anxiety, more worries, and then you never give up until the death itself. Death takes the limit. Until then, you never limit yourself because you have no idea. That's how the people run for. And there's nothing in there. Actually, you get nothing. So what is missing is the understanding. What is missing is the tolerance. What is missing is the forgiveness. What is missing is compassion.
Well, we're going to see you speak here at Balboa Park Wednesday at the Marioko Room. It's across from the Model Railroad Museum, and it's in the Museum of Photographic Arts. Also, Thursday, Geshe will be here at the WorldBeat Cultural Center at 7 o'clock. It's 7:30 tomorrow night in Balboa Park. Also, 7 o'clock here at the WorldBeat Center. Compassion is what we live for. And suffering, this whole planet is suffering. It makes me so sad, the ignorance. And all of us must be a part of raising the level of consciousness on this planet. And as Geshe says, it's impermanence. All this is impermanence, you know. And just forgiving, serving, having love for this whole planet. If Geshe, as a young 2-year-old boy, loses his home that I know he wants to see it again, we can forgive small things. If families can forgive someone that murdered their daughter, I recently saw that on TV, we can forgive. It's cleansing. And Geshe, anything else would you like to say to your public out there?
Yeah, I mean, forgiveness is the only way to peace. People here in the West, I hear from people on the television, from the politicians, they talk about justice, justice, justice. Justice meaning, from their part, what I hear is justice meaning revenge. Get the other one, punished, or that's what these people are talking about.
Revenge.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Geshe Thupten. Incredible human being. And again, he will be in Balboa Park Wednesday, and that is at the Morocco Room in the Museum of Photographic Arts. The next day, he will be at the WorldBeat Center, and we want you all to come out and learn about compassion, learn about healing the center, because we really need healing this town, Our center's getting healed with him being in here. We got Tibetan flags flying. But the city needs healing. It needs to come together and not revenge. Now I know what justice is. He taught me what justice was about, and it's not revenge. Makeda, WorldBeat Center, Reggae Makosa. Bless. Namaste.